What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about education? If you're like most parents, it's student loans. But we'll skip that for now. So, what do you think about? Is it the educational system? Schools? Universities? Is it family education? Is it manners? Or perhaps you haven't taken the time to contemplate about this yet. The importance of education is far beyond any simplistic explanation. This is why today we'll have a look at the real purpose of education and how this information is going to benefit you for the rest of your life. But before we do any of that, give us a like and consider subscribing to this channel for more videos like this, which can potentially change your life for the better. This is John. He is a well-educated individual. Overall, he has a decent living situation. He finished his postgraduate studies with a good grade. He has a good job, a nice car, he goes to the gym regularly, and he enjoys going out with his mates. Most people would define John as a polite person, a very well-mannered and smart individual. On the surface, it might seem like he's got it all figured out. Yet, John feels like he lacks something. He feels like after all the hard work he put in, he isn't in the place he wanted to be. He feels empty on the inside, and because of that, he is unhappy. John's parents always told him to study well in school and to get good grades, because that will help him get a good job, and then he'll have a peaceful life. They assumed that a good education would make him happy. So, in their case, education was necessary, only because they thought that it would help John live the kind of life he wanted. Or maybe the life his horoscope promised. You see, this is how most families and individuals think. They value education because they understand it is important. But what is education really? What is its purpose? What is this thing that people value so much? Is education really a tool that helps you get a good job after you graduate? Or just the debt that drags you down for years after? Perhaps you should dig deeper. John and his family thought that education means to get good grades and to have good manners. However, real education is beyond earning degrees, and it is beyond any systematic instruction. The real purpose of education is to elevate your consciousness. The real purpose of education is to evolve yourself. Education is meant to help you reach a higher state of being. Assuming that education is important only because that it can help you get a good job after you graduate is dangerous. If you see things that way, you just limit yourself. And why go over your debt limit for that? Education is crucial because it is the only way you can develop a holistic understanding of the world. And yes, that will make you happier. As a human being, there are different stages you need to go through in life. Abraham Maslow, a famous psychologist, developed a theory of psychological health predicated on fulfilling innate human needs and priority, culminating in self-actualization. This theory is also referred to as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have a look at the picture. As you can see, according to Maslow, there are 6 different tiers, all of which contain different sets of needs. And no matter what your kid says, a cell phone is not a need. The first tier is called psychological needs, and it refers to the basic needs necessary to stay alive, such as air, water, food, sleep, and so forth. This tier is pretty apparent, as you cannot live without meeting these needs. Why else would we have beds and breakfasts? The second tier is safety needs. Once you've satisfied these psychological needs, the safety needs must be met. This tier includes things like a house, resources such as employment, and being able to secure your property. As sad as it might sound, this is not accomplished with the safety dance. Once you've got those needs satisfied, there are a new set of needs called love and belongingness, as you can see in the third tier. It includes needs like having good friends, a good relationship with your family, and sexual intimacy. Hence why women leave when you don't meet their needs. The fourth tier is esteem, and the needs that Maslow described are also referred to as what I like to call the egoic needs. In this tier, Maslow emphasizes the needs of recognition, status, importance, confidence, and respect from others. Only after those needs are relatively satisfied, you get into the juicy territory of life. The next tier on the hierarchy is self-actualization. Here, an individual feels the need to be more creative, to develop a higher sense of morality, to be more spontaneous, to solve problems, to make discoveries, to accept facts, and it feels the need to contribute to the society. Finally, the last tier, self-transcendence, is all about true spirituality and enlightenment. In this tier, you feel the need of becoming more aware, to develop unconditional love, and to attain new levels of consciousness. The real purpose of education is to help yourself get through these stages so that you can meet your needs. Education should be the vehicle that will get you to the top of the hierarchy. Do not make the same mistake John and his family did. Do not assume that your education will stop one day, because you'll find yourself stuck between those lower tiers, and you will be unhappy, same as John. Education isn't a destination. It's a journey, and no, not the band. John stopped educating himself after graduation because he assumed that it was enough to live a rich and vigorous life. Clearly, what they were missing was the real purpose and meaning of education. Education is a never-ending process. You must work on educating and developing yourself up until the moment you die. Assuming that education simply means to finish university and to get a reasonable degree is by no means a big mistake. Going to school, getting a degree, and being able to have a job can help you survive. But there is so much more to life than just that. As we've learned from John, that will not make yourself happier, and it will not make you feel fulfilled. A super burrito, however, will make you feel filled. But where does this misconception come from? Why do most people believe that education is important only because it can help them get a good job, and that education should stop after graduation? Perhaps we should have a look again at John's case. What John and his family thought wasn't wrong. It was only partially correct. Going to school, having good manners, and being well-behaved is part of your education by today's social standards. What they believed was strictly shaped by the culture they lived in, as some people from different countries do not even consider things like manners part of their education. Think of someone who lives in a tribe. Do you think they care about their manners? Nope. The only thing they care about is their survival. Therefore, their training and education mean being able to hunt, cook, and build shelters, as they have different needs. What I want to tell you by using this analogy is that education is strictly defined by factors such as your culture, the education system, family, friends, and the environment you live in. You should be grateful because you stumbled upon this video. The information presented here is a rare gem, as only very few people have access to these things. But you do, and you learn something for free. Because now you know how important education is, start taking action and educate yourself. Identify which areas in your life you feel like improving the most, and be 100% determined. Moreover, because this channel is all about education,